We are going to do a Blue Ridge segment, I promise. I know you keep thinking I'm putting it off. I'm not. But there's something tells me I have not completed my attempt to offend you. So I think I'm going to do this now. So I want you to get all your kids close to the TV. If you can find your children, wherever you're at, get them close to the TV. You don't want to miss this one. It's a classic. Sam, give me some Bugs Bunny.
Well, shut my mouth and call me compound if it ain't the little old South. Eyes come in, but my head is bending low.
Charge! Get back there, you dang Yankee! Great horny toads, I'm up north. Gotta burn my boots, they touched Yankee soil. Lay down your arms and step forward, Yankee!
What's the hassle, schmassel?
My orders from General Lee is to hold the Macy-Dixie line, and no Yankees are crossing it.
General Lee? Why, the war between the states ended almost 90 years ago.
I'm no clock watcher. And until I hears from General Lee official, I'm a blasting any Yankee that sets foot on Southern soil. So scram, Yankee!
I've got to burn my boots, boys. I got to burn my boots. They touched that damn Yankee soil. Ho, 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 ho. Sorry, folks. If you were not offended earlier, I'm for sure I have completed the task for today. Sorry, man. Hush my mouth. Hush my mouth. That's a Bugs Bunny. I hope you had your kids there to see that violence of that shooting and everything, and hear him say he's got to burn his boots that touched that Yankee soil. I think Yosemite Sam's next. I think Donald Trump, that's what he should have said. What's next? What's next? George Washington? Is that next? Thomas Jefferson? Is that next? Yosemite Sam? I'm serious. When are they going to get rid of you? Oh, my God. All right, anyhow. Oh, I have too much fun. Anyhow, we got a special called meeting. Now, let me do this. This is Blue Ridge City Council. Let's go into this before we leave. Oh, by the way, if you have not heard yet, if the fake news has not, CBS took 100% of their airtime, 100% of their airtime last night on the nightly news to do Donald Trump's press conference, putting the neo-Nazis and the KKK on a moral equivalence. One of the darkest days in this nation's history. Anyhow, that being said, just on a side note, a little lower level story, as we leave tonight, we have a choice of two things. We can have a choice of showing you Rocky the Squirrel water skiing, or let you know the nuclear threat has been averted in North Korea. We're going to go with nuclear threat for 300, Alex, and let you know that the Kim Jong-il Yak Whack Job coalition over there, fan base, they said we're going to watch what those damn Yankees do, but right now we have our plan in place, and we'll let you know when we're going to hit Guam, but we're going to think this thing out for a day or two, okay? So right now they realize that the guy yesterday that gave us the darkest day in the history of this country actually put the fear in the little whack job not to go to Guam and attack our people, okay? Seriously. That's right, to attack our people. That's our territory, Guam. We have military there, strategic military base. Anyhow, he has decided not to do that. Also, Iran said, hey, keep up with the sanctions. We're going to ratchet up the nuclear. Too bad we don't have Obama in there to drop another pallet of $500 billion down there and thank them for ratcheting up their nuclear program in Iran. How'd that work out for you? So, all right, now, special called meeting. And right now there's an email going around, and a lot of people are upset with Councilwoman Arp. A lot of people are upset with Councilwoman Angie Arp, and this is from, I think what I'll do is I'll stay away from the actual name of the individual. I think I'll stay away from the name of the individual. But this one person wrote, there's two Councilwoman Angie Arp, all of the council members, and probably 70 people on an email chain. And people are responding, and Councilwoman Angie Arp, and this one person said, unfortunately, some of the 140 people that attended the regularly scheduled, remember, the City of Blue Ridge has a regularly scheduled meeting every month, same time, same place, same bat channel. Bat channel. Huh, interesting. Unfortunately, some of the 140 people that attended the regularly scheduled meeting will be unable to attend the special called meeting. I am sure the 4 council members that decided not to attend the regular scheduled meeting already know that. I cannot attend, but I would like to hear exactly why you were unable to attend, and also agree with Miss Blank, Miss G, we'll just call her Miss G, that due to your choosing not to attend, you ethically gave up your rights to comment on what was discussed at the meeting. You are elected officials, not emperors. Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree, sir. They are emperors. You need to watch the video. They come across. So this person says, you are not emperors. You were elected to serve the public, including residents and taxpayers in the city, not to push through your personal agendas. Signed, Joe. We'll just call it Joe. Then we have one this morning. Let's see who we have this morning. Mrs. G writes, Mrs. Arp, Angie Arp, a crowd favorite. Your arrogance is amazing. It's amazing. Your arrogance is amazing. You assure us that at least 4, oh, I apologize for that. I always try to turn it off. You assure us that at least 4 members of the council know the Blue Ridge City Charter and the Georgia Open Meetings Act very well. Do you therefore contend that at least 2 members do not know any of this? And you assure us this council abides by the laws you govern by, and yet you don't show up for your job at the scheduled meeting where 140 plus residents of Blue Ridge, Fannin County, have to walk through a metal detector. Yeah, they set up a metal detector. I'm with you, Mrs. G. Set up a metal detector to attend the planned meeting you chose to avoid. Since you've had over a week to rehearse. Rehearsal on the set. Miss Arp, could you go through that line one more time and explain why you didn't show up? Anyhow, back to you, Mrs. G. Since you've had over a week to rehearse, your excuses... why'd you do this, Mrs. G? And repudiation. I think I got this. This meeting ought to be a real show. A really good show. You may want to move to a bigger place. Thank you, Mrs. G. Well, Now, folks, let me set this up. Last week, Thursday night, is the Blue Ridge City Council meeting, same time, same bat channel, same place every single month. They knew in advance that there would be a crowd concerning the discussion of parking, so they enlisted the chief. They called in the chief. They brought in Johnny. Johnny, could you set up the metal detector? Could you scan them? Could you make sure some of those wild, wacky senior citizens don't come in here with signs? Okay, so Johnny sets up the metal detector. Everybody has to empty the pockets, put them in the cup, put them in the little, dog water dish. All right? Got to empty your pockets. Got to come through the metal detector. Put your stuff back in your pockets, right? Got to go through there. Guess what? They don't show. It's a no-show. No-show ARP. Yeah, they don't show up. Why? Because they could not face the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. Wait a minute. There was a band that used to be the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge, but they broke up. That band was who? Lead singer Angie Art, on bass Johnny Searcy, on lead guitar Steven Setzer from the drive-in, and playing the drums Mark Tomlinson. So that band broke up. So the new concerned citizens, really concerned about Blue Ridge, stepped up to 140 people and walked in there. They did not show up to face them. Anyhow, So tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., there's two things about a special called meeting I want to enlighten you on, and please stay with me on this. One thing I do not like the citizens' First Amendment rights to be removed. Freedom of speech. I am so disgusted on how all government agencies, for the most part, I'm not taking Board of Education and commissioners to task this morning, but all of them in some way, shape, or fashion have curtailed freedom of speech. Now, there's a couple. There's a couple that I know of, and I probably better not pick out two that I know very well about, because then it would leave out some others that are open and transparent. But I don't like some of the curtailing of freedom of speech in these meetings whatsoever. If it's organized and there's a podium and if a person goes to the podium and gives their full name on the record, their address, even if they live there, okay, I get tired of, well, if you don't live in the city, you can't talk. Your address, your full name, and then state your concern. And obviously you don't start, dropping F-bombs and, saying things that are pretty ugly, but really say what you want to say. It's freedom of speech. And you just sit there and you take it and go on. Say, thank you for attending the meeting tonight. We appreciate your comments. And leave it alone. You don't have to respond. You don't have to get in a fight. But I don't like that. Here's two things about the special call meeting that are most upsetting with freedom of speech. You cannot have comments. There is no public comment in a special call meeting. No public comment at special called meetings. So, I have all these emails back and forth. It would take me forever maybe to find the special called meeting, because there's 75,000 emails. That's just a little over the top, right? But there's several hundred emails, no exaggeration, concerning the special called meeting. Let me just put this in because I want to show you something. There is okay, special called meeting for the 17th. That's tomorrow. So let me just pull up this agenda right fast. Come on, computer. Okay. See, when you have, if you go down through here, you have a call the meeting, prayer and pledge, council meeting rules, approval of the minutes, 2017 general election, poll manager's appointment, Fannin County joint agreements, Carter and Sloop, Life Force contract. See, the Life Force contract, renew the contract for Life Force, that was supposed to be done last week. They're doing the business this week, folks. Tomorrow in a special call meeting, they were supposed to do it the other night. Okay, renew the Life Force contract. They didn't show up for that. Electric shuttle bus ordinance, match point estimate, Carter and Sloop, EPD invoice, water treatment plant, council meeting, charter, council meetings, and the charter is on there. Council meetings and charter. I wonder what that discussion will be. Correction to misinformation and issues raised at the August 8th meeting. So they're going to give you corrections. Now, how do you give corrections to a video? I would like to know right now how you correct a video. When you unedit a video, there's no editing, and you just turn it on at the beginning and turn it off and upload it. How do you correct misinformation of black and white, seen it on camera? How do you correct that? I don't know. The video's out there. You watch it for yourself, okay? Frank Moore email, PAC property and lease and parking, city streets, storm drain, city parking, executive session, if needed, adjournment. Guess what's not on there? Special called meetings. Angie Arp did this herself. She got it voted on. She got it voted on by her 3 votes. 3 votes. I always remember in this total election, 3 votes did this. So if you don't like having a voice tomorrow, if you don't like your freedom of speech taken from you tomorrow, 3 votes did that. Angie Arp was the ringleader. I always liked the ringleader. She could have been in the circus, right? Okay, anyhow, she's the ringleader of taking your constitutional right of freedom of speech away. Because guess what? They made it in their meeting rules, council meeting rules and procedures, that in special called meetings, there's no public comment. You can't sign up today. You can't say how you feel. They look at you. The emperor has no damn clothes. They look at you. The dictator looks at you and says, I'm going to correct everything. I'll get you and your little dog too. I'm serious. Really? No comments? Not allowed at a special call meeting. That's how you cut the public completely out. We're going to talk. You sit out there. And if you get out of line, Big Johnny, and tell them what they've won. Hey, you over there in the 3rd row, you old guy with a sign, you speak up one more time, you have won a ride over to the jail. Just saying. PAC property, lease, and parking. Folks, you need to wake up. Okay, I understand you need parking spaces, but the PAC property, great people. I say it over and over. Todd and Lisa PAC, outstanding people, good people. They have a piece of property. But don't you forget, Miss Art purchased her piece of property while in office. She did not come into office with it. So if she wants to look at you and tell you, if this lady wants to look at you and say, hey, the voters elected me knowing I own this. The voters elected me knowing I had this piece of property. The voters electing me, they knew my business before they put me in office. And if you want to argue with that, I'm sorry. But I own that before people went to the ballot box and pulled the lever for my name. So how am I the bad person? Guess what? That's not what happened. She was in office when she purchased this property. The old cement factory down by the railroad tracks, off Ada Street, or off the other street that connects to the PAC property. So she's a city council member. She purchases this property 2 years ago, right? Wondering what would ever happen to it. It's sitting there for 2 years. Wonder how long she's been going like this and saying, they'll need that PAC property sooner or later. And I will get 300 spaces. And I will get you and your little dog too. How long has she been doing that? Right? I don't care if you hate me. I can care less. I know you need parking. But my God, once you do, how many of you out there right now would love 300 spaces connected to your property that's paid for by the city, the lease is paid for by the city, the upkeep is paid for by somebody else, trash removal, everything by somebody else. You have no maintenance, no cost, no overhead, nothing. But what you have is a right-of-way now from the highway to your property and 300 parking spaces that are closer than you parking, getting out of the car and going into Walmart. What the hell? That sets me off. Just fires my ears up. All right, Sam, we need to get that clip out and about. Out and about. All right. Well, you get those clips out and about every day, so it's nothing new. Sam's probably sitting over there saying, "Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I do every day. We're going to put up." I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We have. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that my attempt to offend you today has been successful. Really. I've played the Bugs Bunny clip and the Yosemite Sam. I played Donald Trump. I've discarded almost everything that possibly could be offensive, from George Washington to, Tony Dungy, to the Federalist Papers, to the satanic water of Tim Tebow. The media hates it because Tebow's playing in the minors for the Mets, and he's hitting home runs, and he's going out and he's shaking hands with children in wheelchairs, and he's praying with them, and he's putting his arms on their shoulders and saying, "How are you?" and giving autographs to those kids. And I mean, he's actually being good to people, and it's like goodwill in baseball, and you just wonder, why don't we all just meet at the baseball field? I think that could unify the country. No, hell. Maybe not. Casey Cagle, candidate, lieutenant governor, candidate for Casey Cagle, candidate for. Hey, Rose, thank you for sending me Donald Trump tweets. I did not get into those today. My apology. The president, let me see if there's anything recent with a minute. I apologize. Don't forget, before we go, let me let you know here, you're seeing all kinds of new social media things happening. We are responding to questions where in the past we've not been able to. And so if you're seeing responses, please don't hesitate. You can get in touch with us. Let's tell you how you can follow us. You can follow us at chief@fetchernews.com. You can send us emails to the show. You can text us 706-889-9700. You can follow us at Fetcher News, at FYNTV. You can follow us there. That's our Twitter. You can go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe at the top right corner. You can go to our YouTube channel, and you can our YouTube is FYNTV. Fetch Your News, and you can find our Facebook page. And hey, Donald Trump 3 hours ago, President Donald Trump, congratulations to Roy Moore and Luther Strange for being the final two heading into September runoff in Alabama. Exciting race. Amazon is doing great damage to tax-paying retailers. Towns, cities, and states throughout the U.S. are being hurt, many jobs being lost. For every CEO that drops out of the Manufacturing Council, I have many to take their place. Grandstanders should not have gone on jobs. Okay? Period. Corporatocracy. That's the word of the day. Corporatocracy. Let's just go with this one more time. I got 30 seconds. Show me Robert E. Lee. The only show to dare to do this today. Robert E. Lee, just anyone. There you go. Robert E. Lee. I mean, let's end the show the same way. And Stonewall Jackson. And that would be the end of our show, folks. You have a nice day. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday. Same time, same bat channel. Oh, I got my Superman glasses. I better be careful. Tomorrow we'll be back 8 a.m. Good morning from the office. Take us out of here, Sam.